We live in a world where our animal friends are often overlooked. But here, not only are they seen, here, they get to shine. The Deserving Dogs Show, starring Angela Aiden. Angela receives a call from her friend Sarah.
I have slip leads. This is your carrier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about 3 dogs whose owner had a serious medical emergency and can no longer physically care for them. All 3 dogs appear to be pretty unsocialized.
I'm gonna put this guy in the van and take him out of the crate and put him in a different crate.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very, like, I was able to touch him, like, he was like, I just,
Okay.
he like screamed when the guy put him in there.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll go slow with him.
This little guy is cautious, but doesn't seem to be any threat.
A little nervous. Hey, buddy. There we go. It's very nervous. Poor guy. He seems sweet though.
They were so happy with their
Yeah. Everyone else seemed pretty easy?
Oh, they're all nice.
Okay, cool.
The first dog was pretty easy. But this German Shepherd is on high alert and definitely aware of Angela. Angela is aware of his uncertainty and must take a patient approach for her safety and the safety of the animal.
Can we take this out? Can you help me take it out and put it on the ground? Thank you. Okay. Oh, wait a second. Poor guy.
Wait, tilt it?
Yeah, will you tilt the back of it?
Time for Plan B.
There we go. Can you like lift it a little now? Yeah.
Transporting them is going to be a bit of a challenge.
Take a second. There's a crate open right here. There you go. Never had a leash on before, huh? Okay. I used to have a harness on. I know. I'm gonna clip this to you though. I know you don't trust me, but that's okay. Okay. Maybe he'll just ride loose. We just need to be very careful when we open and close doors, okay?
100%.
Yeah, that guy, he's like if I do too much, I feel like he's like wanting to bite me, you know? He's not like trying or anything, but he's very like, so I don't want to push it too much with him. I don't think they're used to having leashes around their necks too.
Running loose.
Oh.
Like, even when he brought them outside, they were like running into the street and everything.
Oh shit, okay. Yeah, they're like real panicky with any kind of leash pressure. Do you have a clip leash that I can use for a second? Like one that'll clip to her harness?
Time to get the third and final dog out of Sarah's car.
Okay.
Great, means come out.
Yeah, it's just gonna be easier.
This dog is just as skittish as the other 2.
Come on.
So Angela must take her time with her as well. This dog seems to be a bit more curious and open to the idea of Angela. She's also smelling her surroundings.
Good girl.
She's much more trusting, while still cautious of her new environment. Angela tries to get at least one of the big dogs into a crate for the transport.
Let's go in the crate.
But it doesn't look like either dog is going to make it easy for her.
I want one of them to be in a crate. I don't want both of them to be loose. I just don't know them. Any other direction but that one? Can you put the AC on?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna tether them. This is too much.
Angela decides to take the path of least resistance and tethers the two big dogs. Most likely these dogs have only known one or two people their whole lives, so trust must be earned. Angela and the dogs complete the long trek to San Diego. Angela arrives at the Animal Pad Rescue in San Diego, California. Here, the surrender dogs will be assessed and placed with a suitable adopter or foster.
Oh my goodness.
So we have 3 dogs.
Three dogs. Yeah, there's 2 of them.
You guys can just ignore them when I come.
Sure.
Both dogs are still unsure of Angela and her intentions.
Long now. Okay.
Mark just said I never say that to him.
How dare you?
No.
How was Ship when you ran it?
Angela finally gets the shepherds
Oh
inside.
my goodness. This way.
No easy task.
We've got a little room for you, okay?
The shepherd's
I
definitely,
know.
the black shepherd is definitely like more outgoing.
Okay.
This guy, the little one is pretty tense, so just be careful with him.
Okay.
And this guy
You guys are beautiful. It's okay. I know that's so
more, like,
scared.
giving you looks like, I don't like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
One spilled water bowl. 2 barking terriers. And 30 minutes later, Angela has finally gotten both shepherds in their crates. Patience, awareness, and practice are what it takes to accomplish this mission.
Okay. Now I gotta go get the little dog. God, I'm like sweating in there.
I know, you're the best. I literally was like, I wish I could do something to help, but this is just like...
I'm gonna grab the small one. I'm
Okay.
just gonna carry him in. It's a little easier.
Sorry, though.
After all 3 dogs were settled and secure, Angela got the opportunity for a one-on-one with Lauren Bottisley, the director of operations for the Animal Pad.
So I'm Lauren. I'm with the Animal Pad. We are a 501c3 nonprofit dog rescue, rescuing primarily from the streets of Baja, but a little bit of everywhere. We call ourselves an all-breed, all-need rescue because we take in all breeds and literally every kind of need you can think of.
You guys go down to like Mexico and do these like rogue rescues too,
Yes,
huh?
it's like guerrilla style. It's very fun, but it's emotional, obviously.
Yeah.
It's emotional pulling a dog from anywhere, but pulling a dog directly from the streets, a lot of the times after they've been severely injured, a lot of the times after they've been severely abused or neglected, definitely hits differently for sure.
Yeah, especially the dogs who have cancer. What is the type of cancer?
TVT, so it's transmissible venereal tumors. And those dogs, it's hard to believe if you've never seen it, what they end up looking like, because you look at them and you're like, this is hopeless. Like this dog's not coming back from this. They start to look like, sometimes they don't even look like dogs. They look like very mutant-esque.
Viewer discretion advised.
every week with chemotherapy. It's like slowly but surely. We have a dog right now named Cora who had a huge facial tumor to the point where her face was like so swollen. You couldn't tell what breed of dog she was. Someone came in the other day and said, "You guys have a bull terrier." And I'm like, no, she's not a bull terrier. Her face is just mal-shaped right now. It's just not shaped to be what she is going to look like. When she first came to us, she had a really hard time breathing. Honestly, it had taken up her sinus cavities. Even it had gone through her palate to where she has like a little, call it her blowhole. She's got a hole from the roof of her mouth that goes all the way out through the top of her snout.
Wow.
So that was a huge gaping hole, and now it's actually so small. The only thing is she gets a little bit of like soft food stuck in it, and then sometimes we'll sneeze and just sneeze all over you. It's always something like meaty and like juicy farmer's dog shit. That's just right out. You've been blessed.
Yeah, lovely.
The palate often can take surgical intervention, but we don't think for the top of her nose at all. It's just like a pinhole at this point, and it's going to close.
Nice.
So it's so cool.
And she's available for adoption.
She will be, yes. She's available for foster right now with no other dogs or somebody that could keep her completely secluded because it is contagious. So it's one of those weird cancers that you never would think exists. And it's like new fear unlocked.
Like airborne?
No, so it's cell to cell.
Okay.
So basically, the way she got it in her snout is very likely from sniffing another dog's tumor.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's like mucoid membrane to like, it's disgusting. Wow. She was having a really hard time breathing, which she came to us very like oozy and drippy, and that contains cancer cells. So we have to PPE up. We have to really take care of ourselves when we're taking care of her to make sure not to spread it, and then no dog contact. So the hardest thing, honestly, that we see with these dogs behaviorally is that
isolating them.
They have to be without dogs for sometimes 4 months.
And then they come out healthy and strong, and they
all of a sudden, they're healthy and they're feeling good, and then they're so excited to see a dog, and other dogs are like, this is not the way I like to be greeted. Yeah, exactly. Like, this is not the interaction for me. And we understand that too. So once the medical is healed, which is a lot of work, then it's like, okay, now we have to work on your social, all the social things that you probably lost in the past couple months when you were essentially isolated from other dogs. It's almost like they're Benjamin buttoning, like, it's like they're getting younger, getting stronger, getting all these things where when you first see them, you're like, oh, you're a mess. So it's super cool.
That's amazing. For people watching this, how do you feel they can help the most?
I would recommend finding a place local, to wherever they are, and just volunteering. That's kind of like the gateway drug into doing this. And volunteering and getting your foot in the door is the first way into fostering very often. It's the first way into adopting, first way into like feeling the passion that's needed to be able to successfully fundraise and, successfully market the dogs to get them out to amazing homes. So, show up and do the work, and it can be anywhere, honestly.
Angela gets a call from her friend Emily at Final Chance Animal Rescue. There are 2 unsocialized Labrador sisters that she wants to rehabilitate. So Angela visits them at the Coachella Valley Animal Campus in Thousand Palms, California. Unfortunately, like so many shelters in Southern California, the Coachella shelter is over capacity. For the month of November 2024, the Coachella shelter housed 1,110 strays, received 110 dead strays, took in 36 owner surrenders, confiscated 108 dogs, 26 adoption returns, and 236 foster returns. These staggering numbers can only be solved with responsible pet ownership and public awareness, which means spaying and neutering all of your dogs and putting stricter requirements on the books for breeding dogs.
Something's still alive, and if you leave, I'll stay. Somehow I'll survive, oh, without the freezing winter. 'Cause love's a game without a winner. All the words I should have said, maybe I'll go out of it someday soon.
I am a little better than one.
we just got home from the Coachella shelter with the 2 dogs that we pulled today. They don't have names. I know they're both females, so at some point we will pick out names for them. They're pretty nervous dogs. They're feral. They don't have, well, the shelter said they're feral. I'll be careful with my words because I don't believe all scared dogs are feral dogs. I'll talk about that later. This one has thrown up all of its food. It expressed its anal glands. This is kind of the reality of rescue, that it can be messy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take her out of the crate, clean her up a little bit, let her walk around the backyard and clean the crate. This is my very first interaction with the dog. The shelter put her in the crate, so I have not handled her at all. And as you can see, I'm not facing her. I'm not making eye contact with her. I'm not talking to her. And these are things that are all very intentional from me. I have my side to her, so it's not confrontational and not too much pressure. Eye contact can be very confrontational to dogs. It can be an invitation or a confrontation, and it's how the dog perceives it. So I want everyone, when they're taking dogs out of shelters and they're taking in scared dogs for the first time, I want them to really think about how their actions are making the dogs feel. It is so important. And I think so many people out there just get the dogs and they want to be all over them and love on them. And please, that is not the best way of going about things, especially when the dog is not enjoying the interaction. Before I take her out, I'm going to put her on a long line just so she can have some space away from me, because I imagine a dog like this isn't going to want to be really close to me right away. And also I'm not going to let her off leash in the yard because I don't want her jumping the fence or anything. I have the other dog in a crate over there, and I intentionally put her farther away so it motivates this dog to come out of her crate and potentially want to go be with her friend. So that was done intentionally, and we'll get her out, but I just want to do one at a time for right now and kind of see what we're working with, because I have not handled these dogs yet, and I don't know what's going to happen. Avoidance, right? She's turning her head away from me. I made a little bit of eye contact with her, and that was hard for her. So I noticed that. So I'm turning my body away from her, and you see it kind of brings her back a little bit. I can even kind of lean back, and you can see she's a little bit more curious about me now. So just know everything that you're doing impacts the dog in a huge way. So just be very aware of how you're making a dog feel when you interact with them, please. So this is good. She wants to be curious of me. So I'm just gonna let that moment happen for a second before I move on to the next thing. She's using her nose. She's wanting to smell me. I love it. That makes me so happy. But also I'm not gonna really interact with her yet until I take her out. I also don't want her to get panicky and flighty. And I know when I open this door, and also when the camera's moving around a little bit, she's unsure of it, which is fine. We're just going to have a positive interaction. Nothing bad is going to happen to her, but I'm just going to go really slow with her and break it down into steps. This is not about how quickly I can get this dog out of the crate or how quickly I can get her to like me. It's just take your time with everything. So I'm going to make the loop of my leash slightly bigger. Then I'm going to see how she feels about me getting a little bit close to her and see how she feels about the leash actually touching her. So if I go to tap her like this and she turns at me quickly, I'm going to have a little bit of a different approach here. If she's going to be like reactive or want to bite me. This dog does not want to bite me. She's just scared. I have the leash on her, and now she's just shut down. The leash isn't all the way on her, it's just on top of her, and she's just very, does not trust it, does not like it. The leash is going to be one of my most important tools with her, though, so I have to get her used to this for her safety. So that's what I was saying. You know, some things that I'm going to do are going to make her uncomfortable, but it's going to have a good outcome. I'm going to go slow with her and kind of change her perception of humans and the leash so far. But I'm just kind of taking my time and waiting for her to lift her head up. Also not going to pet her when she's like this. She does not want to be touched right now. It's not going to be helpful if I start petting her. It's going to shut her down even more. So now I have the leash in a position so that when she does turn around and lift her head, the leash will fall on top of her. And I can adjust it a little bit more, but I just want to take my time in this moment.
On the next episode of Deserving Dogs, Angela works more on socializing the Labrador sisters. Also, world-renowned dog trainer Lynn Boki chimes in with some expert advice. The two discuss the possibility of Lynn getting some hands-on training with the sisters. All that and more. Click like and subscribe, and ring the bell. And please, spay and neuter your pets. We'll see you next time on the Deserving Dogs Show with Angela Aiden.